Hey everybody, welcome back to the Triple Take podcast. I am Jacob. This is week 3, podcast 3, with Lance and Zach. How you guys doing?
Good.
I'm good. Hanging in there. Yeah.
Lance has his microphone thing fixed, so we're riding high right now. He can hear himself and is not going to scream and blow out your speakers.
I may still scream. Depends on how intense.
Well, let's hope not.
You know, it is. I can already tell he is considerably quieter than he's been
100%.
the other two.
It's just it's like a mental mindful thing.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when I don't get provided the right material, I mean,
To be
what
fair,
am I supposed to do?
I think the word provided is wrong.
Yeah. When I don't get my hand out.
Well, here's the expectation, right? When the talent comes, you give the talent what they need. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
I think it's a generational problem.
Yeah, implying that you're much, much older than us.
Yep. These goddamn kids.
Alrighty, so we got a lot to talk about today. We're gonna hit some newsworthy stuff. Oscar wins and snubs. We're gonna talk the Alien Earth teaser, Nolan Odyssey casting, Obama in Severance, which is a weird one. We're gonna talk the Mobland teaser and big Star Wars film updates. So that's what we're gonna get into. First on the docket, Oscar wins and snubs. There was quite a few of them. Don't get me wrong, good for Adrian Brody, but he's won one already. Why? Did you guys see that stuff about the like the Oscar voting people and how they, like the Academy, how they, I guess, apparently don't watch movies?
They don't watch the movies? I mean, it would make sense as to who wins.
Well, there was like 10, 15 people who came out and said they hadn't watched. I forget which movie it was, but
Dune, I think.
Yeah, Dune. They
Part
never
two.
even
Never
watched
even
the
watched
movie.
it?
Nope.
Well, I know it's like weird. It's a weird way that they actually get nominated because you have to check a bunch of boxes like we've already talked about.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think they miss a lot of movies because of that. But you're saying they don't actually even watch the movies.
They don't. I mean, they watch a majority of the ones that they're interested in, but you would think they'd be required to watch every movie that they're voting.
Why that's not a requirement? If you're voting on a large group of things, why, like, am I wrong in thinking you should have to watch them all?
So it's like the most prestigious film award, and I think it should be more. Wouldn't it be better if it's more equal? Every film has its own chance. So because all the people that are voting have to watch it,
Right.
That's crazy. It's almost like the Oscars doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, no, that's one of our topics for later. One of the big questions: are the Oscars important anymore? And are these fuckers even watching the movies? I think no.
I guess the answer is no.
Yeah, that's a quick one. Yeah, no, huge snubs though. By the way, like Best Picture went to Anora, and like we could have had The Brutalist, which apparently was pretty okay. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm not on the Academy. I didn't watch that. The Conclave, I think, was also quite good. Dune Part 2. I'm not even gonna mention Amelia Perez, even though I just did. It's terrible. Everything about it's bad. Don't watch it. Don't.
Have you seen it?
Well, I think that
No.
we talked about the Oscars a couple weeks ago, and I think you said it best, Lance. Like, the Oscars are literally for people that are for movies that no one watches.
Yeah, they're for movies that people either don't watch or watch because they want to be pretentious about movies. Is essentially where the Oscars has come to now. You know, like
Pretentious really sums it up.
yeah. I mean, even only like 5 years ago, you know, there was a bunch of movies that people watched. There was Green Book, there was Parasite, there was Jojo Rabbit, you know, things that people were actually watching. But like, I don't even think these opened wide most places. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Other than
that's
Dune,
true.
I don't even think there were wide releases.
I mean, we can't even blame COVID anymore. It's just like, what? Yeah, why not?
No, I think the Oscars are turning into a list of movies that are trying to beat you over the head with a message. And I think we're getting away from what made movies good, which is like going to enjoy something and not get pummeled into submission by whatever the director and actors decide. I want to watch it because I want to have a good time. I don't, you know.
No, I totally agree. I think best example of that most recently is Maverick. Like that was the first big movie to come back since the COVID kind of washout. Nothing was really happening.
Yeah.
And that was pure entertainment. I mean, Tom Cruise is just a true movie dude, and
Built Hollywood.
Yeah, it wasn't that good of a movie, but it was just so fun.
I remember seeing a lot of people say that movie like saved Hollywood. I mean,
Yeah, I absolutely believe it.
At a time like, well, I mean, I just wrote an article about this. Shout out our website.
Yes. For those who don't know, which is everybody, go to tripletakepodcast.com and check out daily, actually, at this point, articles and reviews and all that good stuff. We're going to keep updating that. Check out our socials too. Triple Take Pod, Triple Take on pretty much everything. So yeah,
pretty much everything. But no, I think that part of the problem is that like movies just don't feel like they used to. Like they used to give you, Hollywood would give you a reason to go to the theater, and now you just don't have that reason. And in the article I talk about, like, we're also part of the problem because it's way easier for me just to sit on my couch and watch something on Netflix or HBO or whatever.
That's a huge factor for me. Even after, I mean, we made a huge push for going to the theaters, like what, 5 or 6 years ago? We were going like weekly, every new thing.
And I would go to the theaters every single week.
Yeah, fizzling now. AMC
remember?
Studs.
Do you remember the first? I remember the first movie that, like, big blockbuster, if you will, that came straight to streaming. It was one of the Godzilla movies released on HBO Max during COVID.
Oh, I think you're right. Versus Kong, maybe?
It released in the theaters too, if I'm not wrong. But
okay.
Yeah, but they released time and time.
Okay.
They did that with a few movies at that time.
Black Widow. Because of that huge Scarlett Johansson backlash.
And the first Dune movie released on HBO Max along with the theatrical release.
I think it was like 2 weeks later.
Was it?
I think it is a little bit later. I don't know if you're super accurate.
Well, I know that The Matrix Resurrection did too. Like, it was out the same day.
Yes, you're right. And that movie sucked.
You know, I remember I did this before with another movie, Flash, the new Flash movie.
Yes.
I watched it twice in one night because I was like, it can't be that bad. I went to the theaters to see the new Matrix movie, and I was like, what the fuck did I just watch? And then I went home and watched it again. And I was like, no, you're right. This is just fucking garbage. This is awful. It killed Neo in front of me.
Honestly, that's a perfect example of what you're saying. Like, it's this... Resurrections was like this grandstanding, like, agenda-pushing, all-inclusive slop.
Yep.
And it just wasn't fun. I mean, they had cool action stuff, but, like, that's kind of where the buck stopped.
They're making movies for... It feels like right now, Hollywood is making movies for a demographic that does not exist. Or at the very least, for a demographic that don't partake going to theaters and using that kind of content. But for the most part, like, we've gotten that first movie that I watched on Max, Godzilla, that felt incredible. I was like, holy shit, I'm not getting price gouged by the theater. I'm sitting on my couch in my underwear watching Godzilla like I was when I was a kid. And it didn't cost me $45 for myself to go.
You know, I'm going to disagree with you there. I absolutely love the movie theater. I would go.
Well, no, I'm not saying I don't like it, but I'm saying, like,
I don't think it's inherently bad,
feeling.
But it just don't. It's not the same as it once was.
Maybe I'll feel differently when I get my 90-inch TV and it feels like I'm at the movie theater.
I'm rocking an 85 right now, and it's like a movie theater in my living room.
But, like, right now I've got like a 50, so, like, I would just rather go to the movie theater and get that giant Godzilla experience that I'm not getting at my house.
No, there are some movies that just, like, you can't capture the feeling of it on a smaller screen. Like, I remember seeing Inception for the first time in theaters. And then when I watched it on even though I have a 65-inch TV, it's like when the city is rising up, it's like it didn't feel the same, you know?
Right.
The stakes aren't as big because literally the screen's not the right size. I feel like Interstellar was made for movie theaters. I mean, there's a handful of movies that are made for movie theaters, but they're just not making those anymore. And the Oscars is part of the problem. Yes. And we're also part of the problem. We're not supporting the little things that
those A24 films. Honestly, A24 might be the only example that I could have given. Like, they're actually just killing it every time.
Yep. Also, their trailers are fucking incredible too. I don't think anyone makes
lost art.
I don't think anyone makes a trailer like A24.
Oh, speaking of A24 trailers, they actually hired an A24 trailer specialist
for Thunderbolts,
right? And it was very good. Honestly, good trailer.
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of the other thing. That was one of the others on my list. A decent segue. That
I wasn't pumped for Thunderbolts as much as you were. And then I watched that A24 trailer.
Dude, it's so good. It's
Yeah.
so good. The cinematography alone,
Yep.
I mean, I could watch it on mute and just love it. I mean, it has a lot of, I think it has a lot of missing heart, or it has the heart that it was missing before with Marvel movies. I mean, it also just looks like, a good movie.
So you guys are saying 2 weeks ago when I said Marvel's back. You haven't watched Daredevil. And we'll get to that later. But
I don't think I denied that Marvel was back, but I am definitely more in the boat now than I was then.
Yeah.
Specifically because of this trailer. Phenomenal trailer. For those of you who haven't seen it, go watch it. It's great. Thunderbolts. A couple of weeks away, right? Or are we like long off?
May 2nd is released.
Okay, sort of about a month and a half. Yeah.
What still holds, I think Star Wars Episode
7 probably.
7 holds like the #1 most viewed trailers.
I think
that was like
Endgame beat it.
Did it really?
Yeah, I'm almost positive Endgame beat that.
Maybe it was like most viewers per second or something, because that #7's trailer was like 7 seconds or something like that.
Jeez.
Golly.
All it was like literally the Millennium Falcon turning on. And
Oh, you're
then
talking like the initial first teaser.
the first teaser trailer has
Yeah, it was like Finn turning on the lightsaber.
Yep.
The Millennium Falcon like drifting.
Yep.
Yeah, no, that was great. Oh, and the blood on the Stormtrooper helmet, I believe. Also.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we were all let down, maybe except for Lance because he has terrible opinions about things. But I was let down when I watched it. But the trailer was fantastic.
That's funny you mentioned that. Like, I don't think we weren't quite old enough for like where were you on 9/11, whatever. I mean, we were like what 5. Where I was whenever.
You guys are too young.
Yes,
I'm not too young.
where were you whenever the Episode 7 trailer dropped? I was in physics. Junior year, phenomenal film, or phenomenal feeling.
I was at home in my basement. And also, fun fact on 9/11, I was in 5th grade in art class
That's crazy.
and didn't understand why they were willing in the TV screen.
I vaguely remember us watching it in the library.
It had to have been a reenactment because I also remember that.
Yeah.
And we would have been in preschool, and I did not
I don't
go
think
to
they're
preschool
doing that.
at Adams Central.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right, moving on. Guess some.
we doxed ourselves. So I'll have to
Yeah.
exit that.
Well, we're gonna. How did we dox ourselves?
I said the school.
You said the name of the school.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll bleep it.
Okay.
It
All
would be
right.
funny if, like, during that section, it's just like, doop-a-doop, and it's just us talking in the background for a second.
Yeah, I'll put some. music
Anyways,
over it.
whoopsie poopsies.
All right, Nolan Odyssey casting. Yeah, I don't know. Have you guys seen much about this? Nolan's. Odyssey
I
film?
know that Matt Damon is in it, and that means that I will not watch it.
That's unfortunate.
That is a wild take.
I can't do it. I'm gonna look up the casting right now, but
It's getting crazy.
I
It's got a guy from Shogun.
I genuinely do not like Matt Damon, and I will avoid films that he is in.
Why?
So much so that I actually turned Interstellar off.
So that means you don't like
Let me shut up.
The Departed.
Never seen it.
What's going on? We gotta fix that, man.
I'm sorry.
What if we just like?
And I'm the one with the
I don't know how to fix it.
And I'm the one with the bad opinions.
No, so pretty great casting though. Matt Damon, aside from Zach's opinion, I think he's going to be great. The only thing that kind of sucks that I've seen, it's not even really a casting issue. It's he's got the Spartan like helmet on, which it's described pretty well in the book, like what he looks like, and it's not that. So I'm a little frustrated with the costume department. Accuracy wise, I will admit that it looks pretty BA. I think it's a pretty cool looking helmet.
But you also have to think like they haven't started shooting this or anything, so it like the
I
helmet.
mean, it's an official set photo.
Yeah, but they could. I mean, the helmet could definitely still change.
I don't think it's a Sonic thing we got going on here. I don't think we're gonna like shame them into changing it.
No, I mean,
To be fair, the Sonic thing was impressive.
Yeah,
The internet
band
bullied them
together.
into submission. on
bully's a
that one.
great word for it. Honestly.
We all got together and said we will not go and see.
Can we
this.
do that? Do you think we'll be able to do that for Snape in this new HBO thing?
Yeah, I don't know. I think the ship has sailed on that one.
It's just so frustrating. The one character that's described
Vividly
in detail,
in the book.
yes. Like there's so many other characters that you can kind of up to interpretation, like what like cast whoever you want.
Yep.
And Snape is not one.
Nope.
Snape is not one of those characters. It's a little frustrating, but it is what it is. I think we kind of,
which is unfortunate because the guy's a good actor.
yeah, I'm not knocking the guy. He's put in a really horrible position. He's gonna get a ton of hate, and most of it's gonna be racist. But I don't think to be critical of that is necessarily racist. It's just a bummer.
My biggest problem with it is Snape is supposed to be inherently an ugly dude.
Yeah.
And that guy is just straight up not an ugly
He's
dude.
not an
No, he's a good-looking guy.
Yeah, he's a handsome man. So like I don't like. I mean, they just it's not that they whiffed on the character as much as it is like they don't get you don't get the reasons why the character is who he is.
Yeah.
Right? Like, let's be real.
He was
Lily's
bullied.
probably going after Snape if Snape's looking like that, not James. So completely changes what everything looks like.
The scene or the part of the book where James puts him in a tree is going to be weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I feel like there's also just kind of like they're setting themselves up for just kind of political issues that wouldn't have been there if they just casted him normally. I don't know. I feel like it's going to be a problem.
It's the same. It's like the same problem we talked about with the issue that Andrew Garfield is a bad Spider-Man, a bad Peter Parker.
Mm-hmm.
It's that I don't believe that guy gets bullied in high school.
Right. Exactly.
Right. And so I'm looking at a picture of this guy. I don't believe this guy's getting bullied.
Right. That dude is the Ravenclaw Seeker. That's not. I mean, a potions master from Slytherin. He's just not.
Sorry.
Like, I think I'm still going to watch it. I don't think they're going to change it at this point. They have to see all this backlash, though.
Apparently, they're getting quite a bit of hate for the Dumbledore casting as well.
Trinity Killer.
Yeah, but John Lithgow is great, but I just don't know about him as Dumbledore.
Yeah, he's kind of a weird choice.
I will say,
because he always plays like the
slight comic relief.
Yeah,
kinda.
Exactly. Like I don't know that he'll be.
Well, I mean, costume and makeup can go a long way. I think we're gonna. If you slap a big beard on him and then the hat, he might be okay.
I think he'll look like him for sure. I just don't.
It's also all these characters are English. I don't know that he can do. Can he do a good English accent?
He did. He played. What's his name? Winston Churchill really well.
In the King's Speech, that wasn't him, right?
Mm-hmm.
John Lithgow. Churchill. What?
He played Winston Churchill in The Fog, The Crown.
Okay. So he's probably okay then. He's got a good.
Yeah,
he's a good dialect coach.
Maybe I just haven't watched the right stuff with him, but every time he comes off as comedic relief, and I feel like Dumbledore already toes that line at certain points, and I don't want him to become like this big buffoon of a character.
He looks okay in Conclave. I don't know if you've seen him in Conclave, but he looks okay.
Spin it here. Oh, yes. Okay.
I mean, he looks okay. My concern isn't about the looks for
I think it's a
Dumbledore.
age.
It's great age, but I think it's what you were saying. It's almost always he's like slightly comic relief. I mean, I've known John Lithgow since he was in How I Met Your Mother as Barney's dad, right? And in
Marshall's dad.
John Lithgow plays Barney's dad, his real dad.
Oh man, you're right.
Yeah. I was going to say, don't take that away from me. I know
you are totally right. His dad is somebody else.
Okay.
I know who you're talking. I don't know.
Marshall's dad is like, I don't remember the guy's name, but looks like he enjoys fishing.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm talking about.
John Lithgow looks like he enjoys killing the fish.
Yeah, but John Lithgow plays like a hard rock character early on in Barney's life, and then afterwards he's like, I'm just a regular dad. I drink my milk and I'm a driving instructor.
So he's not Bob Barker.
No, not Bob Barker. That's a lie that his mom tells him when he's growing up.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, I've watched a lot of that show, so
I'm sorry.
Bring on the trivia.
Okay, we may have to give the bad opinions to Zach.
Yeah,
yeah.
He's swinging him.
I think I might be the one with the best opinions here.
It's fine.
That's why I get the cool chair.
I will agree. The laugh track does help. No laugh track, it's cringy.
Have you ever seen those edits?
Yep.
It's bad.
Yeah, it's bad. It's not good.
This one doesn't really apply to you, Lance, but Obama was offered it came out, and I don't remember who actually broke the news, but Ben Stiller offered the Obama, the position of the Lumen building voice in Severance. Did
Why
you
does
see
this
this?
not apply to me?
So
You haven't watched Severance.
I have.
I
He's
saw
watched
40
one
minutes.
episode of
I'm
Severance.
40 minutes into the first
Okay, then no
episode,
place.
so-
I don't know how you. Okay, well, to be fair, the first episode, I think the first episode's pretty slow, and by the end of it, you're like, "What's really happening?"
There's some great comedy
Yeah.
in the first, like whenever she
Yep.
wakes up on the table.
Yep.
Anytime she mentions I don't remember anytime Mark mentions a word, I can't remember what the word is, but she like attacks him. It's like, but she attacks him twice.
Yeah.
With the binder, and then I think she just tackles him or something like
he
that.
says, like,
she
he
throws
says no.
the speaker at him.
Oh yeah. He's like, what the fuck?
What the fuck? Okay, sorry. Obviously, he didn't play the voice of the Lumen building.
It would have really taken me out.
I don't think I would not have liked that.
Yeah.
I would have found that to be incredibly annoying.
Yes. And I mean,
Also,
I think
it's just the
show's-
voice of a building, so who gives a shit at all? I don't think it needs to get political.
And to this point, the voice of the building was in the first episode of the second season in that video.
Yep.
So, yeah, I think we're better for now.
I guess I
disagree. I would have loved it.
I guess I'm more confused.
I think he's got a great building voice. So
okay.
He did give good speeches. I mean, regardless of which way you stand on the guy, he gives great speeches.
he does have a nice voice too. Like I'm all for it.
And he's 100% nailed the.
So long as you don't think about the way he's talking too much, it's like no, and then the pause. Like so long as you can get past that, I think it's okay.
But I think that's
he's
also
nailed.
like a perfect voice for a building, like kind of monotone and.
He's pretty easy to impression.
He really nails
whatever.
the pointing with your thumb. Because you can't do this on stage, but you sure
Doesn't
can
that
do
mean
this
milk?
a lot.
Is he asking for milk?
No, it's a whole thing, politics-wise. It looks bad if you're pointing, but if you're doing this, it's better. He's good at this.
Interesting.
I don't know. It's a whole
Yeah,
thing.
he holds it close to home too. He's like, it's like he's drumming.
Yeah. Anyways, we're going to build back better on the rest of the podcast. So
Yes,
that wasn't him.
burn
but
it down.
Whatever. I don't know.
That one.
Segue. All right.
We're gonna skip this one because I actually didn't even watch it.
Neither have I. I don't know what Mobland is.
It's another. We've been talking about John Hardy, kind of, or Tom Hardy, excuse me. Yeah,
John Hardy's his brother.
He's in that. It's a Paramount Plus, I think, show.
Okay.
I typed in Mobland and it came up with a mobile home park near me. It's not what I want. Yeah, it's a Paramount Plus. Is it written by?
This just
The Cowboy
looks like
guy?
something that I will never watch, and my dad would eat up.
I was gonna say it looks like a 45 to 60 dad movie show.
Yeah, this is something I will not be
Oh,
touching.
but it's got our guy. It's got Dr. Fate in it, and Mrs. Doubtfire's enemy.
It also has a 50% on Rotten Tomatoes, so wouldn't watch it if I were you.
What do they know?
Don't waste your time.
Yeah, it looks okay. Watch it. Don't watch it. It's whatever. We got a bunch of
Interested to talk about the next one, which is the Star Wars stuff.
Wait, cut it and say it again.
I'm interested to talk about the next Star Wars film updates. I saw a trailer with a bunch of kids in it, and it's called The Skeleton Crew. And then I immediately thought, we were, for half a second with Andor, I was like, okay, we're on the way back. And then I watched this fucking trailer with a bunch of kids in it and how cheesy it looked. And I thought, well, maybe not.
I didn't think Skeleton Crew was bad, actually. Some of them were John Watts, I believe, if not all of them. Mm-hmm. Or at least he was like a showrunner or something. I like John Watts.
Is it the next?
Would have given?
Is there more than one season of Skeleton Crew, or is this the
Just
first?
one. This is the
one
first one.
season.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, got a little bit of a list here. Some pretty interesting things coming up. Obviously, Andor Season 2. That's like right around the corner, a couple weeks from now. We're getting a Visions Season 3. Didn't really care for the first one. Super didn't care for the second one. So, we're going to skip that one. Not going to talk about it at all. Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, air quotes, is going to be heavily involved in the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, which is May of next year, 26.
Big question.
Go ahead.
Are they calling it the Mandalorian and Grogu movie?
Yes.
That is fucking dumb.
I think they're going to drop the word movie, but yeah.
It sounds like a buddy comedy, like a buddy cop comedy.
It's like Chips.
God damn it.
Yeah, Michael Pena and not Zach Braff. But
Which one's going to say, I'm getting too old for this shit?
Well, Grogu's like 60, so
That's fair.
yeah. So I mean, it's whatever. That one we knew about that one. That's not huge news. Not a big shock. Ahsoka season 2 is in development. That got greenlit pretty shortly after season 1, if not during season 1.
It wasn't the worst thing that's been released on Star Wars recently.
Rebels season 4.
It's fine.
I liked it. I like all the characters, and I liked seeing where they were. Now, I didn't necessarily like the show, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Taika Waititi apparently has a Star Wars movie in development.
Yes, he does.
I love Taika Waititi,
I don't think we're ever going to see that.
but I don't know how I feel about him making a Star Wars
They
movie.
announced that clear back in 2019.
Well, they
and
just
there's
put this information out last week, and it's pretty high on the list.
Yeah, IGN is. Are you on the IGN website?
I am.
We're on the same website right now.
Don't listen to them.
Anyways, I love What We Do in the Shadows. He
So
was
do I.
big in all that. Yes,
Jojo Rabbit.
I can feel.
Jojo Rabbit
Okay.
is a top 5 movie of all
I haven't
time
seen
for
it.
me. You gotta watch.
I haven't seen
one.
it. I will watch for you. I promise,
I think you will like it.
brother. I watched one of the worst movies I've ever seen this weekend because of you. I'll watch
Hold it, hold it,
Jojo
hold
Rabbit. Okay,
Jojo Rabbit's fantastic.
but
The one I'm most excited about on this list is the James Mangold one. I mean, James Mangold, Logan,
I was gonna say
phenomenal film.
I don't. So Taika did Love and Thunder, Thor.
Stinker.
I don't think it was as bad as everyone made it out to be.
I did not like it at all. I remember, didn't we watch it in theaters together? I'm fairly certain that we
Yeah,
did.
we did. It was
And
bad.
it was, I can't remember the last time in the theater I wanted to leave. And that was one of them.
Is it fair to say that they wasted gore in that movie?
Yes. Far,
Is that why
very much so.
you're so upset with it? Because I'm upset with that as well. He's a
think
way bigger villain than what they gave him.
I think a lot of people were victims of their own expectations. But I mean, they had they just got to copy and paste it, man. I mean, he looked so cool in the comics. It's one of the coolest looking villains.
Yep.
He also has he has a black sword.
Yep.
That's like liquid, which is also super cool. They just fumbled it so bad. I didn't like that they made him like a bipedal human kind of bald guy. Like he has like claws and like he just looks way cooler in the comics, and they did him so dirty.
Now, with as much, I mean, it's gore in the comic books. He warranted a trilogy of his own. I think. I mean, he's that big of a threat. I think he's not quite Thor or not Thor. He's not quite like Thanos level villain, but he at least deserved 2 movies. I mean,
I think also kind of an issue was like the Sony stuff, like who owns Venom and all that stuff, like all the Spider-Man villains, because Venom and Gore are pretty tied. Because I think, what's the sword's name? Can't think of what it's called. I don't know, but
the Necro sword.
yeah, I think you're right. But like that has something to do with Null, I believe. I think it's his sword, and then there's like a lot of things they could have gone, a lot of directions.
Yeah,
they
it's
could have
called
gone,
the Necro sword. Sorry.
and they went just the wrong way. I also didn't like the kid at all. The kid, I don't know. I just thought the movie was really bad.
So
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, you're fine.
The part where the kid's head pops up out of nowhere. I got to be honest. They wasted their entire CGI budget on something else, and then I think they added that post production. They had
100%.
They had $8 and an intern, and they said, "We'll pay you in Starbucks gift cards."
They
Make
watched
this
an
happen."
After Effects tutorial, and that's what they came up with.
Yeah.
So back on the Star Wars announcement. This whole announcement makes absolutely zero sense to me. So you fire Kathleen Kennedy, don't hire anybody new, announce the vision that she played out. What if the new person comes in and doesn't want any of this?
I mean, they may be on a sinking ship. That's for sure.
It's a good point.
They jump.
I just like if this is the plan you want and you feel confident in, then why get rid of her, right? Why get rid of her if you're going to still stick with everything that she has laid out? It just.
Well, the good news is it looks like a whole bunch of this stuff is in development still. So that means early stages. They can change the storylines. They can change the cast. And nothing's really even been casted yet.
Right.
But they can drastically change the direction of all these things. I think she was part of I don't think she was the whole problem, but she's a big part of the problem. And I think that getting her out of the way at least allows them to shift focus a little bit in the storytelling aspects.
I mean, I just, it doesn't make sense to me in the sense that, like, we already knew Andor was coming out. We already knew Visions was coming out. And they had already announced The Mandalorian and Grogu. So why give us all this without just making sure that the new person actually wants all of this?
Well, if you look down the list, there's like 4 or 5 of them that are presumed canceled.
But, I mean, we knew all of this.
Yeah, no, I agree.
We knew that Rian Johnson's Star Wars trilogy wasn't coming out as soon as he made the movie.
David Benioff and D.B. Weiss Star Wars movies, canceled.
Those were canceled in like 2019.
Yeah, those are canceled for a long time. But how many times have we heard something is in development and then it just fucking goes nowhere?
I mean, I think it's just they needed some news. There wasn't anything going on. I think, let's just tell everyone this stuff's in production. And I mean, they got us talking about it. I mean, I think that's probably the point.
To be fair, they probably wanted to pull away a little bit about the Kathleen Kennedy thing.
They wanted the ad revenue too, probably.
Yeah.
I just think it's bad timing. I think that Star Wars hasn't changed.
Jokes aside, I think you are pretty spot on, Zach. I think it was a shift in attention, big time. I'm sure she was crying.
So why not give us like some Andor news or something like a spinoff of Andor?
Well, Andor's coming out in 2 weeks.
Juicy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, give us some juicy morsel.
I mean,
don't give us stuff we already knew, and half of it's not going to happen anyways. It doesn't make sense.
But if no one's in the seat to make that call, can they?
Then why announce anything? I mean, who's making the decision to make the announcement? Star Wars is just, you hate to see it fail, but like stuff like this makes me want to root for it to fail. Like the stuff that they do just doesn't make any sense. Like, there's thousands of people who work at Disney directly for these Star Wars things. Surely one of them can use their brain and think things through logically. And apparently none of them in power are the ones who get that choice. So, I don't know.
I'm looking through here. As far as like things that I would watch, I'm not talking into the mic. As far as things that I would watch, 100% a Rogue Squadron movie I'd watch. That sounds really cool. I'm going to 100% pass up anything with Mandalorian and Grogu. I just don't care.
Wow.
You lost me in the first season. And
really? So you never went back?
I watched season 2, hoping. I will say season 2 is better than season 1, but it still felt very like whenever he needed, like, he's on a quest, okay? And he kept getting side quests, and the side quest was like, you need to bring me 3 gallons of milk first.
Yeah, it felt like a video game.
And he's like, oh, shit, I got to go to the next planet over to get the gallons of milkies.
Yes. It was like dude had a grocery list.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. And it
felt weird. So the whole scene with him like learning to ride the whatever the hell animal that was.
Yeah.
It was like 20 minit of him like falling off the back of that fucking thing.
Yeah.
But they had to make an episode.
And we did that instead of seeing something else.
I think it runs a lot like the Clone Wars episodes. Like, I mean, it's definitely like a lot of it.
It was episodic and not a long movie.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
No, I agree.
I enjoyed it.
Kind of villain of the weeky, and then they all kind of came back at the end of the season. It was fine. I don't know. At this point, I think a lot of people are like me, just kind of watching it because it's out. Not everyone is just dipping out the first season like you.
At the bottom of this list, I do see a Lando Calrissian movie, Status Unknown. Do we have any idea where they going to use
Donald Glover again? I believe
was it,
and I think actually it was a show at one point.
Childish Gambino.
Yes.
I would assume that's also not.
I thought he did a great job.
I did too.
Honestly, we haven't talked about it really at all. Solo is a great movie.
Yeah,
I really like Solo.
I wouldn't quite go saying it's a great movie.
No,
I think it's a good movie.
It's good. Yeah,
I like Alden Ehrenreich.
It's a good movie.
I think he plays a great Han. I take it back. It's an okay movie. I cannot stand the way they arrive at Solo when he's like in the line and he's like trying to get off planet and he's just like, "What's your name?" I don't know. I don't have one or something like that. And then the guy's like, "Are you alone?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Solo." I was like, that's dumb. That was stupid.
I'm trying to think into the lore. Is there anything that suggests where his name comes from?
Like, why do we have to know that? I understand, like, mythology and wanting to know everything that you can.
Sure.
But, like, I'm fine with not knowing who Yoda is or, like, anything else about his species. I'm also fine with not knowing where his surname came from.
I don't know. I find that stuff interesting. I do think that was a dumb way to present it, or that be the way that it actually happened. I think it's dumb.
It just felt kind of like, I don't know, 80s movie-ish. Like the Fantastic Four movie. Like, we're standing here and we're pretty fantastic and there's 4 of us. I don't know. It just seemed dumb.
Yep. Bad. But yeah, excited to see David Benioff. Went nowhere. That's awesome. You fucking deserved it.
Yeah.
Glad
they torpedoed seasons 7 and 8 for that. It's not on the list, but I kind of forgot about it. The Accountant 2 comes out soon. Another trailer came out for that. It was good. I'm excited for that movie. I love The Accountant 1 or The Accountant.
It'll be fine. I mean, it's another action movie.
I think it's good.
It'll be good.
I think it'll be good.
It'll be okay. If you like guns and
I do like guns.
It's just action. You know what I mean? Like I need my action to have a little bit of a plot, but
there definitely is a plot. He uncovers collusion and insider trading and embezzlement. He's also autistic, and there's a ton of stuff. Not that that's a major plot. I mean, it is a major plot point, but that's not carrying the movie. It kind of carries the movie.
We established early on, Tism is high in this room.
Off the charts. But yeah, no, I mean, more of a just this is going on thing. Not really anything special about the trailer that I'm that excited about. I'm definitely going to see that movie in theaters because, I like it. So anyway.
Last thing, I don't know if you guys watched this on Netflix, but You Season 5 comes out soon.
Does it really?
I watched the first season and a half.
I fell off at 3.
Season 4 is not great, but it was fantastic up to 3.
Is 4...
4 is when he goes off and
he's by himself, right? Again?
Yeah, he's back by himself.
3 is the house in California
with love and everything else. Yeah. I don't know. I thought it was interesting.
I will feel.
So I did one small part of that. They named it You, the TV show, so that you could say, "What are you watching?" And you say, "I'm watching You." That was a whole reasoning behind that because it's like a stalker show. I thought that was kind of cool.
Clever.
I actually thought they canceled that, so I did not know that was coming out.
Yep.
Okay.
The actor got married and now says, "I don't want to kiss or anything on screen with somebody else who's not my wife," and so. That's kind of a big part of it ending. It's weird.
I mean, to each their own. I mean,
fine.
I'm not. Yeah, that's fine. Good for him.
Yep.
He's got values, morals.
Just a couple.
So we want to move on to the discussion topics?
Yeah. Are we gonna hit what we're watching? I just want to say one thing about what we're watching. Mickey 17. Watched it this weekend. It is absolutely fine. It was okay.
Would you call it aggressively fine?
Yeah. I mean, I think.
Would you go as far as say it's just pretty mellow, good?
Yeah, I think it's a movie that sci-fi fans will enjoy, but there's no big twists. The character development was good for the main character, but everyone else.
How was Mark Ruffalo?
He played a caricature for sure.
Okay,
but I think he was meant to.
Kind of over the top. That's the vibes I was getting from the trailers.
Yeah, it plays kind of over the top character. There's definitely some references to a certain political figure. I mean, it's pretty clear. Okay. So it was interesting. It was fine.
Good or bad?
What do you mean?
Like that? Like, is it take away or is it add to it? Indifferent.
But I mean, there's noticeable things. Like there's two pretty early on that you're like, okay, that's who that is. You know what I mean? So. Yeah. But it wasn't what I expected, so that was good. But I wouldn't watch it again. But I think it's probably worth a watch once, especially since you were excited for it. You may like it more than me.
I plan on going to see it probably tomorrow or the next day.
Yeah. So if you're interested in Mickey 17, the review is out on our website,
TripleTakePodcast.com,
and we gave it a 7 out of 10. So
cool.
Aggressively good.
I do want to see it, so I'll go take a look.
Yeah.
Cool. So, what we've been watching this week, I can go first because my name's at the top of the list and I made the list. So,
So fuck you guys.
so I went and saw Nosferatu in theaters with Lance right here. We thought it was okay. It was a little, I think it was aggressively meh.
I did not enjoy it.
It was not at all what I thought it would be.
I heard
I
that it was
rewatched
more artsy than scary.
For sure.
So that's what I would say. It's a beautiful film. If you can get past, there's a lot of I thought Aaron Taylor Johnson was great. I don't know. There was a little bit of a discourse on socials that he was bad somehow. I don't know where that's coming from. I thought he was awesome. He plays this dude that's essentially a problem solver, and his wife gets killed because he's trying to solve these problems, and then he gets upset about it. Rightfully so. His wife just got murdered. I thought he was great.
He's been good in almost everything that he's ever been in.
Kick-ass.
I think that it came from Kick-Ass that he got almost typecast, and then he married a really old woman.
He's like, I gotta fix this.
Yeah, but
yeah, she is super old.
yeah. But Bullet Train, he's phenomenal in Bullet.
I think he's really good in that.
Yeah,
He punches a train window.
yeah. Punches it right out.
So there's a couple. Have you seen it yet? No. Nosferatu? Okay.
You can spoil it. I'm not gonna.
I think you should watch it. So I rewatched it because I was like, oh, maybe it's not as bad as I thought it was. I
love that for you.
It's it is.
It is. Okay.
So Nosferatu is Orlok, Count Orlok. It's essentially Dracula, but rebranded. There was some sort of, I think, licensing issues back in the day. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I'm sure that I am.
No idea.
No, I think you're actually right.
The way he talks, though, I focused a lot more on that kind of accidentally. The way he talks is so go over here and do this.
It's like a Scooby-Doo villain.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. He also gives deadlines. He's a professor. He's like, you have 3 days to do this, and then come back, and then I'm.
At some point, do they pull his mask off and say, "Oh, Mr. Jenkins"?
Yeah, you meddling kids. Yeah, no. Visually, just really, I don't know. I think about it a lot. It's disgusting. The film is disgusting.
It is
in pretty much every regard.
It is a bad film. I would consider it bad.
We have talked a lot about Nosferatu the last couple episodes, so it made me want to watch a Dracula movie.
Yeah,
I watched Dracula Untold.
I really like that movie.
Yes, so do I. Dude, yeah. Have you seen Dracula Untold?
It's got the guy that shoots the black arrow in Desolation of Smog. I can't think of his name. So
Luke Evans plays Dracula, and he's a guy that is in everything, but no one knows his name.
That's the perfect example, right?
Yeah,
that I just had there.
Literally, yeah. He's in the Fast and Furious franchise, for Christ's sake. He's in everything.
He's Jason Statham.
He's Jason Statham. But so essentially he plays pissed off British guy in most of his movies. And no one knows who this guy is, but he's in everything.
The dude's got to have crazy wrinkles. Yeah. He frowns and kind of scowls a lot.
Oh, yeah. And then also Dominic Cooper, who's also in everything, but no one knows who that guy is.
Wait. Yeah. He's
he plays
the
Muhammad.
Bad guy. Yeah. No, I really like the movie. Yeah. I also think it's a super cool
adaptation of a little bit of history and then also some sci-fi shit.
Well, yeah, it's got cool elements of magic as well as I agree.
It was setting itself up.
Howard Stark, right?
It was supposed to launch the MonsterVerse. Warner Brothers, I believe.
It was supposed to be part of a something bigger because the way that the film ends,
it's got Tywin in it.
Yeah, Tywin Lannister's there, and he plays a pretty good Dracula.
He plays the pre-Dracula.
Yeah. So
but
the whole thing
be careful
is
with that.
Yes. I don't know if anyone's going to go watch this movie, but essentially, Tywin Lannister is Dracula in a cave.
Yes.
And he's been cursed to live in this cave until he is able to pass along his Dracula powers to somebody else. Mm-hmm. And then Vlad the Impaler comes along, and he's like, I got to save myself from the Ottoman Empire and get some Dracula powers.
Yeah.
It's not a good movie. It's a fun movie, and I had a lot of fun watching it.
I feel the same way about the Charlie Hunnam, the Sword and King Arthur movie.
Yeah.
It's the same. It's kind of the same vibes also. It's bad movie, but fun.
there's a lot of movies that fall into that category where it's like, I want to turn my brain off. I'm going to be able to eat dinner or hang out on my phone for a little while I'm watching this.
It's a great cleaning the house
and then
movie.
Also, when I, look back into the movie, I can watch a guy just beat the ever-living piss out of like an army of men. That's pretty cool.
When he swoops down, the like final battle takes place in like a valley. When he swoops down with all the bats and like takes out hundreds
He is
of
the
dudes.
bats.
Yeah, it's so cool.
That's it. So it's a power that they made up for this movie, is he can turn into bats.
Not like one bat, like a bunch of bats.
Yeah.
How does that work if
Actually, I take that back. I might be limiting him.
Don't ask.
He could probably be one bat.
Yeah. Okay. But when he turns into bats, it's like one of the first things that he discovers. It's like 20 bats probably.
Yeah.
And then he realizes that he can conjure like,
and he can fly really fast.
All the bats.
Yeah.
And so he all the bats in the area.
Imagine the Batman Begins where Christian Bale's Batman takes that like little cell receiver out of his boot and drops it down the stairwell and all the bats fly after it. It's like that, but like he's traveling.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. I don't know. I liked it. Really liked it. I also watched Daredevil and The Punisher. I'm just going to say them both at the same time because they're essentially the same show. Kind of ish.
The new Daredevil, old Daredevil.
I watched the new Daredevil and then I watched Punisher because we don't have any new episodes of Daredevil and I wanted to continue watching it because I think the new Daredevil show is good.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. Hard watch, first 15 minutes.
Yeah, if you have seen seasons 1 through 3, Netflix, you'll be disappointed, like emotionally.
Of Daredevil? Is a hard the first 15 minutes hard?
Okay. Sad.
Of the new one.
Of the new one. Got it. Yeah. Okay.
It was just an emotional time.
I mean, seasons 1, 2, and 3 will also be hard to watch if you have like a thing for blind people.
I have not watched The Punisher, but I did watch the first episode of Daredevil, the Netflix series. Mm-hmm. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fantastic. And also it does, one of the things that bugs me the most about like fighting movies, like in every one of the Captain America movies, he could beat the ever-living piss out of people, but he just kind of doesn't. He just beats them up a little bit. Daredevil beats the piss out of whoever he's fucking up. You know what I mean? Yeah. I like that. That's fun.
It's really, it's like graphic violence.
It reminded me of the first scene of, I think, the Batman, the newest one with
Rob Pattinson.
Yeah, Rob Pattinson, where he just beats the piss out of that like guy in the train station.
Yes.
I was as soon as I saw that first part of that movie, I was like, oh, we get a really dark Batman movie now. Because he just beat the piss out of that guy.
There's something about him, murdering the guy in the subway and then the leather. Mm-hmm. It's just great Batman.
But yeah, Daredevil, I'll continue.
Good. I'm excited for you to catch up because I know you will quickly. You're like that. Yep. Speaking of the graphic violence, I know you'll know exactly what I am talking about, where he breaks that elbow.
Oh yeah.
And so this is not really a spoiler, but there is a part where Matt Murdock, aka Daredevil, breaks this dude's arm. He like hyperextends it to the point where it breaks out of the skin, and then there's blood that shows up on the sleeve. The guy has long sleeves on. I was like, oh,
can't use that arm anymore.
Yeah. It's like that's gonna take a lot of physical therapy.
Yeah. The only confusing part of it for me,
actually, I'm fairly certain that guy gets killed by the end of that. But yeah, go ahead.
His teammate or whatever, the business partner,
Foggy.
His name is Foggy. Mm-hmm. I guess I might have been. Admittedly, I was half paying attention for the first like 3 minutes.
He's a mighty duck.
And him, A, he's a mighty duck. But B, I heard the cop say Foggy, and I was like, it seems pretty clear outside to me. I don't know. But no, it's just his name. It's fine.
When I first watched it, I thought they were saying Froggy.
So, no. Okay.
Yeah. No plagues going on. No frogs around.
No, anyway, I'm looking to see if there's anybody else in here that kind of pops up. But
has Karen showed up yet? I think she's first episode, right? Isn't she like his first client?
Save? Yeah. I thought she did a fine job. And you can spoil it for me. I assume the main villain is Kingpin, right?
Vincent D'Onofrio.
Season 1.
Season one, I think yeah. I'm almost positive.
It's Kingpin throughout. I mean, that's his.
Because I think it's Kingpin, Punisher, Kingpin. and then Bullseye season 3.
Well, Kingpin and
Oh, but then
Bullseye,
also the chick in season 2 and 3.
Elektra.
Elektra.
Not in 3.
Not in 3?
Okay.
She's in season 2, and she's also in Defenders,
Okay.
which you will also need to
That's the
watch
only
as well.
part of the first episode I didn't really like, is that Kingpin didn't show up, and instead we just get this fucking nerd in a suit who's like, my client disagrees or whatever. And
Well,
it's
he's
like
very much...
behind the scenes.
Well, or no,
running
I mean,
things.
he's very much just a lawyer at that point. Like,
No,
that also just beats up people.
I'm talking about Toby Leonard Moore, aka James Wesley, who represents whoever his client is, which is Kingpin.
Oh, he's actually a bad guy in the first season.
Oh.
He's the first main.
Yeah, you're right.
Bad
But
guy.
then
So do you
there's
ever-
reveals coming.
There is all right. I didn't love that actor.
Kinda forget.
I thought he
He's talking about
was
this guy.
aggressively fine.
I know he's talking about.
And then Rob Gutton playing Leland Olsley, whatever, Leyland.
Wayland Corporation?
This guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's, Warden, Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah.
He's like an investor guy who's also
Weirdly,
shady.
Yes,
Right?
Shawshank
Yeah.
Redemption. However, also in one episode of New Girl. He has a prostate the size of an avocado.
Oh, yes, you're right. That is
he's like
what
the
the
age,
heck?
he's the age hire in one episode,
Yes.
and he tries to fuck Schmidt out of like one of
yes,
his ideas.
Schmidt outthinks
Schmidt
him.
outthinks him. Yeah, fakes a heart attack.
Yes.
I recognized that immediately, and I was like,
I forgot
fucking
about
love this guy. This guy's awesome.
He is. He's great.
Mhm.
Lance, what you been watching? Actually, I skipped you. Go ahead, Zach.
Oh, okay. Anyways, been watching Severance, naturally. We have Lance on the Severance train now. He's watched 40 minutes.
I would say he's at the station.
Yeah, we'll
He's
see if
gonna-
it takes off.
He is going... Okay, here's what I'm going to ask you. Please watch 2 episodes.
I was planning on giving it at least 3.
Okay, because
Good.
I
That's
think
when it picks up.
the first episode is very... what the fuck is going on? And then there is a nice little ending to it. The second episode, it's like it starts getting a little further down the rabbit hole.
Mm-hmm.
And by 3, you're going to be like, okay, what the fuck is going on?
I'll rewatch it too with you, if that helps, because I think that might.
It does not.
Okay.
It does not. But no, I've been watching Severance. I think last week's episode, 2 weeks ago, the episode we saw with Mark's wife
Yes.
will go down, and I've said it before, and I'm going to say it right now. It'll go down as one of the best episodes on TV
It's a good episode.
ever. It's fantastic. I love that they used film to film part of it, so it looks different on the screen. You can tell what's a flashback and what's not a flashback.
Is that confirmed? They actually
Yeah.
used a film camera? Oh,
Used film.
that's very cool and
Yeah.
expensive.
And they wanted to be able to change the color grading and whatnot better, apparently. Something about that. I don't know.
Okay.
You would know more than I do.
Not that much.
But anyways, they used a film camera. I thought that was very cool. But I think that episode will go down as one of the best episodes on recent TV history. This last episode will go down, in my opinion, as a very divisive episode.
No, I agree.
It is quite a bit shorter than what we're used to. It also didn't have a whole lot of talking in it.
It's what I would consider a bottle episode. It's not necessarily filler. It's not, and I kind of hate that term anyway.
Yep.
I think most episodes of things contribute to the plot and move things forward. This one definitely does do that a little less. I think that a lot of it will come back though and be important.
Well, we're 17 episodes in of the series in total. And so far we've had
How many more do we have this season?
2.
2 only.
The next episode is the penultimate episode. Of the 17 episodes so far, every single one of the episodes, in the most part, we've touched the Severance floor once, and we've seen the main cast. And so the last 2, we haven't seen anyone from the main cast other than Mark in the Gemma episode. But this last one, we really didn't. It kind of takes you out of it a little bit, I think. And I thought things were going to be speeding up, and in reality, it kind of feels like we slowed down ever so slightly. I liked the episode, and I think the cool reveal that we got in it was awesome. Like, that's really, really cool.
It was a lot of lore building.
Yeah, no, it was very, very cool. The questions now are like, I have just as many questions as I had before, but I don't know, like, was Jay Megan and Cobell, was something going on there?
Yeah.
Was that her dad? I mean, there's a whole lot of
Yeah,
things
who
there.
knows? I think there definitely is some sort of, like, I don't remember, like, what's the word? I'm losing it. I was really lacking Cobell. I really like her character.
I didn't want a whole episode of Cobell, though, I gotta be honest.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I got a little more than I wanted.
Yep. I like her bits and pieces, and specifically for me, I like the information that we got out of this episode. The reveal was fantastic. I just think that I would have appreciated it in a different context. If Mark and Helly and Dylan somehow discovered that on their own, I think that would have been cooler.
Yeah.
And then for them to somehow figure out how to reach Selvig in the outside or something. I think they're a bit of, I like the way that, or I like what we got, but I wish we got a different direction how to get there, I guess.
Where were they? So a lot of it, the Lumen building and Mark and all of those like work ready housing or whatever, that's all in Michigan somewhere. She drove a long ways. Maine?
So new. So we don't know quite where we're at. We think we're either in Canada, although
it was giving me like Lake Superior UP vibes a little bit. Until they drove into the middle of nowhere.
Do you want me to go deep here?
Not really.
Not really? Okay.
You can go a little deeper if you'd like.
We can go a little deep. So the town that Severance takes place in is called Kier PE.
Mm-hmm,
okay.
Mm-hmm.
And we assume that means province because there's no PE in America. There's nothing that stands for, there's no state that stands with PE, right?
Because they mentioned like Traverse City or Grand Rapids at some point, something like that.
Right. And we also know that there's buildings all around the world. They're a worldwide company. So we think that it's somewhere in America, but it's possible that it's a province, which would mean Canada. However, in the episode where they get to the Chinese buffet or the Chinese restaurant, Mark uses American currency. So that throws the whole Canada thing out the window. Anyways, we were in a town called Salt's Neck in this last episode. Essentially, Lumen started a factory there and then preemptively just left it, and the entire town went with it, essentially.
I have to give us a little shout out to the production team on the CGI. Like the fake buildings and then the Lumen stuff, like all the the deconstructed, like kind of dilapidated sets were very, very good. Where she meets presumably her brother. It's
a coworker.
So they're not. You don't think they're related?
No. They kissed.
You are right.
Yeah.
But maybe Canadians do it weird.
I don't think that we're going to get Game of Thrones level incest in this show.
I don't think we're getting incest, but maybe they're pecking. Yeah, you're right. It was a pretty sensual kiss.
Yeah, no, they're definitely there's a weird old co-worker kind of vibe that I got. At some point he says after she huffs the ether,
right? Yeah.
She's like, or he's like, are you ready to work for 8 hours or 10 hours on the old ether, floor? So yeah, they're definitely,
little callbacks to their life pre
10-hour shifts as 8-year-old kids or something, essentially, which is crazy. Then she joined the Wintertide Fellowship at age 12. Anyway, Severance is fantastic. I can go for hours on this.
Yeah, more than I bargained for.
Would highly recommend watching it. Also, again, I watched one episode of Daredevil. It's also good. Big fan of that. We'll continue. And an old classic of mine is Grandma's Boy. I watched that on Saturday.
Delicious.
It's a good movie.
Go ahead, Lance. What'd you watch?
We already touched on a lot of them.
Yep.
Daredevil, Severance, Mickey 17. Really, the only other item that I watched this week was 50 First Dates. Love that movie. It was on at my parents' house. Watched it. But, honestly, for at least a couple more weeks, every night's college basketball night for me. So, once that's over...
podcast, gotta be honest with you.
Once that's over, though, I'm watching the stuff I need to watch.
It's true. You're right. You are. You're a team player.
Wait, I also watched the 2 movies that we're going to talk about a little bit, but honestly, a lot of college basketball for me this week. So that's all I got.
All right. Let's hop into the discussion topics.
I almost wonder if we skip those and just get right into the movie.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Okay. Because the first discussion topic we kind of hit already a little bit.
How far are we in right now?
We are an hour.
Cool. Okay.
Okay, so last week we left you guys with 3 movies that we decided to watch. We chose Vanilla Sky, which was my selection, Lance's selection, which was Atlantic Rim.
The worst of the three by far.
Yes.
We didn't ask for the best movie. The goal was to pick the most obscure movie, and in those
success, man. Gotta be honest. Yeah, you did a great job.
You won.
You did.
You won.
Yes, within the rules of the game,
I was the winner.
you were.
Yep.
And then Zach's was Cowboys and Aliens, was like a 2009.
Yeah, I don't even
It might be
know.
even later than that, 11 maybe. John Favreau film with Daniel Craig, Harrison Ford, and Olivia Wilde, and then a number of other people's. Yesterday, or maybe the day before, we decided collectively that, well, after we had watched portions of other movies, I got 15 to 20 minutes into Atlantic Rim, and I shut that shit off.
Yeah, I got to be honest. I watched the entire thing.
Can't
I
believe
didn't.
it.
I didn't. Okay, it was almost so bad that it was good.
It's definitely in that. I think no, I disagree though. I think it was just super bad.
I disagree. I think it was so bad it's good. I'm going to watch the sequel. I'm going to watch the sequel.
I think it was.
I'm not going to make Danielle watch it, but I'm going to watch the sequel.
For me, what kept me in it was the monster, the kaiju of whatever sort.
Yeah.
Do they have the rights to that
So
name?
ridiculous that
The CGI was so bad. I can give you guys a brief. I do have a brief write up on it. So Atlantic Rim 2013. It is a ridiculously bad, ultra low budget ripoff of Pacific Rim, made by The Asylum, which I think has made some pretty
They're kind
terrible.
of known for,
Yeah.
they're like ripoffs.
Yes.
But also the budget was like sub $500K.
yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
And they had like I don't know where I recognize him from, but the general I recognize from somewhere.
Oh, he's the Native American man. Yeah, he's in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, like that's I didn't expect to see
He
like
must
a
have
real
had
actor in that
A student loan payment coming up or something. There's no way he would get. Well,
Graham Greene.
I would imagine like
Yeah, he's in
100
Free
to
Willy, I believe.
200,000 would have had to go to
love
him
Free
alone.
Willy. So basically, the movie follows a group of military pilots controlling a giant, poorly animated robot to fight off cheap-looking sea monsters attacking the East Coast. The CGI is awful, the acting is over the top in the worst way, and the story feels like it was slapped together in a week.
It's Pacific Rim, but worse.
Graham Greene was in The Green Mile.
Oh.
That's where he's from.
Yes, yeah, that's probably where he's in a number of things that are good.
Yep. And Dances with Wolves.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Um,
Kevin Costner.
I loved the part about this film. The part of it that I loved the most was that because of the budget, they were just clearly in like rooms that they rented for the day.
Yeah.
And so there's a
But
part.
like they hit it so badly. The lighting in those rooms is like it's very clear that you're just like on, like, yeah, you might be in a hotel conference room.
Most of the movie takes place inside of the robots. Okay. It is very clear that the inside of each one of their robots was just a closet with the lights turned off, and then like PVC piping behind them with lights on it.
They
And
did
then-
an insane amount of green screen, like put up like dials and stuff all over the inside. All the stuff you're mentioning must have happened after 20 minutes because I didn't see any of that.
My favorite part of it was that after, so the main guy that kills a robot, David, whatever the hell, his name's Red. Okay. I don't know if we actually know his real name, but it's just Red in IMDb here. So anyways, they kill the first one. All right. And then he disobeyed a direct order, and the guy's like, fuck yeah, really proud of you. I couldn't do better myself. But anyways, you're going to go in the brig for the day. And so the brig is just a closet with a red light in it. And he's like, dang it. It's the whole movie takes place in one day. It's incredible. They're drinking. It's Mardi Gras also.
Yes.
Did you catch that?
No.
Graham comes
Also,
in.
must have taken place after 20 minutes.
The general comes in. No. Like the first scene, the general comes in. He's like, so what the hell's going on? An oil rig went missing.
I was drinking on Bourbon Street.
And he's like, where is everybody? And he's like, well, it's Mardi Gras. So they're all out, obviously. All the military personnel on this whole base, they're gone on Mardi Gras. Our two main protagonists,
Sounds
the
like
stars,
a great time if you're in enemy country to attack us.
Yes, they're the two main like heroes of the story. The whole thing are in a bar drinking. They get a call to come back to base, and then they just beat up two random guys on the way back to the base. And it's not even that bad. It's just some guy like talks bad to him,
Yeah,
and they're like,
it was like They did not need to beat the crap out of that
No,
guy.
they whooped these two guys' ass for no reason. And then they're like, anyways, Sarge, what do you need?
So they're hot-blooded military dudes looking for a fight.
Yeah. No. Lady and a guy.
They might have
okay.
actually said that exact line in the movie or something.
Said, yeah.
Completely
But
like
the whole premise of this movie is that an oil rig goes missing. The greatest minds in America can't figure it out. And they're like, well, these things don't just go missing.
To be fair, that's a fair point. Like, it's hard to lose something that
I
large.
feel like your next step isn't okay. What they did was
Malaysia
they said,
370.
we don't know where this oil rig went. Call the robots.
yeah, they just.
I feel like they
threw
definitely
robots
skipped a
around.
few steps.
Yeah, send a sub. I don't know.
Well, speaking of the robots,
Fly
I think
around.
the
Yeah,
biggest-
get a boat. I don't know.
The biggest problem for me, and there was multitudes of problems.
Yeah, which one?
Never-ending list.
When they jumped in the water, why were their seats like not stuck in? Did you like when they dropped?
Okay, if physics is the problem you have with this
So
movie.
when they drop, they're going all like it looks like their chairs were about to fall down. Like if you're making a robot, you would think you'd have like.
Well, that's because they were
so
actually.
like a gyroscopic.
I can answer your question.
cockpit.
They were actually sitting in lawn chairs on the set, and they just had to wiggle them themselves,
honestly that.
They had a guy laying on the
sense.
ground shaking them.
shaking them.
Yeah.
But okay, so it starts off. They're drinking. They go kill a monster. Afterwards, they go out to celebrate and have more drinks, and they're like, "Oh no, another one!" And then they kill the second one, and then guess what? Another one comes after some more drinking, and then they go kill that one,
So I watched.
and they keep getting bigger each time.
So at the beginning,
amazing.
I watched up to the point where I think they come in from the Mardi Gras and they're like, there's no one around, we got to fix this, whatever. And they like get in the cockpit and then I'm done. I'm out. Like it just looks so bad. I flipped the movie. I think I watched The
gotta-
Greatest Showman instead.
Okay, well that's not any better. But
Yeah, but what I do remember, I don't have my phone on me. It's being used. I took a screenshot or I took a picture of the TV. I paused it. I'm pretty sure Smash Mouth, the lead singer for Smash Mouth, is in a scene. He's standing on the beach looking up at the robot that like, it really bothers me the way he stands up out of the water. He kind of just appears. He doesn't even like stomp around. He's just like, almost like Dracula, the way he comes out of the coffin. He just like stands straight up and then he's just there and they're all looking around at him. Also, there would be water dripping on them. They could have gotten stepped on. There's just lots of things that were bad with it, and I decided I didn't care enough to watch it.
all right, fast forward to the end of the movie. Okay, so the last monster is the biggest one, and so far,
That's what I should have done. I should have skipped to the
you
end.
should have skipped to the end. So far, each of these two monsters prior have been taken out by like one regular missile from a jet. Okay, each time there's a guy with an eye patch because why not? He's like, the president has approved nuclear strikes, and they're like, God damn it, Bobby, we don't need nuclear strikes here. We'll kill half the planet.
I didn't know Hank Hill was in it.
Yeah,
That changed
and
the
so
game.
the third time comes around, and this is the biggest one, and it's quite a bit bigger than the robots. Okay, and the lady on the mic is like, press Control 7 or whatever she says, and like a melee weapon pops up out of their hands, and so they start just beating this thing with swords.
They also took a screenshot.
They did. It's crazy. Alt F4 for that. And so, God, it's so good. Anyways, the third time they get a nuke off, and one starts heading their way naturally, and they must have just seen the first Iron Man movie because Red grabs it out of the sky, and also the monster and flies them into space, pushes the nuke into the monster, and then karate kicks it off into the distance, and then it explodes.
Did you finish the movie?
Yeah, I watched.
That's crazy.
It explodes. He comes back to Earth, free falling back to Earth, thousands and thousands of feet. Okay, the fire suppression on these suits is incredible because it wasn't on fire. Nothing happened.
Nothing.
It hit the ground
Genuinely nothing.
genuinely
happened to the
just
guy.
fine. It was totally fine. What I didn't
Probably wasn't in the
understand
budget.
is that the robot hit the ground, and then the pilot just gets up. He just kind of appears. He's just like, all right, here we go. You know? And he goes, did we get him? And it's like yeah,
Matthew McConaughey?
I think you got him. You kicked him into space, man.
Yeah,
You
it
watched it happen.
It was
Great,
just,
so
and
now
my
it's some
thing
other
is, like,
planet's poor problem.
if they could lift them up, why would they not just lift them up and drop them from the sky before?
I think you're asking too many questions. What we really need is space nukes.
Agreed.
This is a classic Armageddon movie trope. Why didn't they just train astronauts to drill for oil instead of oil riggers to go to space?
The last scene of the movie is just
Or miners, whatever.
They celebrate, obviously, because they just killed the biggest monster.
Mm-hmm.
They literally just walk away and like high five.
Yep.
And then they just, that's it.
They go back to Mardi Gras, don't they?
Yeah, they're going back to drinks.
So it's like Top Gun at the end. There's like, yeah, shirts off.
It's more awkward, but yeah.
Okay, nice.
Anyways, I really enjoyed it. I got to be honest. It was horrible.
I thought it was a slog. And I'm a big Pacific Rim guy, but I will
Not what I
not
thought
be
you were
watching
saying
the
there, but
Atlantic
yeah.
Rim.
I will be honest. I was so impressed that I watched Pacific Rim after I watched that movie.
Had you ever seen Pacific Rim before?
It's an upgrade for sure.
The second one kind of loses it for me, but the first one's
Yeah, I agree.
fantastic.
I like both.
I don't really care for
both, actually.
the second one at all.
I would kind of like to watch the Netflix anime that they have about Pacific
Oh,
Rim.
really?
2 seasons, I believe.
Basically, you just watch Gungan.
The second one just kind of feels like it loses its way.
Yeah. It was too much of a time gap, and they didn't get the OG actors back, which is kind of a bummer.
They got Charlie Kelly.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. But it just feels like they kind of lost their way. I mean, at the end of the day, like, I can't say that they, it's very clearly like very creative what they were doing, and nothing's based in reality. So it's not that, but it's just like, I don't know. Seems a little weird. I don't know.
So the one that I did watch, actually I only watched one of the 3 movies that we picked. So shout out me. Cowboys and Aliens. Zach's pick.
Yeah. So I love this movie.
Yes.
I've watched it a handful of times.
If you've never seen it, it's essentially Yellowstone meets District 9.
Yeah.
It's honestly like when I heard Cowboys versus Aliens, I thought that it was going to be
It's Cowboys and Aliens.
Cowboys and Aliens. Sorry.
The versus is implied.
They do verses though.
Yeah, but I expected something more along the lines of Atlantic Rim, but it's actually like a full big production, good cast.
Yeah,
Like
I mean, they definitely there's definitely more Cowboys than Aliens.
Yeah.
I thought it was. I actually I was
Okay, so
very much
very
enjoyed it.
happily surprised.
If you haven't seen the movie, Daniel Craig's character wakes up in the middle of nowhere with the bracelet on, and he's like, "My memory's gone. I don't know what's going on." He gets approached by like 3 armed bandits that are like, "This guy might be wanted," and then he proceeds to beat the living shit out of them, kill those 3 guys, makes his way to the next town, and then you run into what might be like it's a stellar cast.
Yeah, it's got the guy from the guy he goes and finds is the sheriff, right? Yep. He's from Dexter.
Also
we keep
from Dexter.
Bringing up Dexter every week. I just not on purpose, but Dexter's like a hive for I guess crime and villainy.
Just random good casting.
Yeah.
I'm gonna run through the IMDb a second here, but you got Daniel Craig,
Yes.
the star of the show.
Yes.
Okay. You got Olivia Wilde.
Cast is weirdly good.
Weirdly good. You got Buck Taylor. Okay, that's Wes Claiborne. That's from Dexter.
Yep.
Paul Dano makes his way in. He's a crybaby little bitch boy kid.
He's Harrison Ford's son that he doesn't like.
He kind of plays that role. I mean, There Will Be Blood is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yes.
He plays a crybaby little bitch boy in that movie as well.
He does
a good job.
And the other brother who was not.
Yes. And then you hear talk along the way of like him going into this town. And Paul Dano is a little bitch boy.
Yeah.
And he's like, "You don't want to make my daddy mad." And his daddy is Harrison fucking Ford.
Yes, he's essentially the Western version of my dad's an investor. He owns this yacht. Except it's my dad has a bunch of cows and runs this town.
Oh, and Sam Rockwell is in the movie.
Yes. Justin Hammer.
Justin Hammer. Hammer time. Fantastic. And then also, last but not least, I have to mention we just talked about it. Adam Beach is in it. Snakes and Sparklers.
Also Clancy Brown. You're skipping a big one. Mr. Krabs.
Oh, yeah. Clancy Brown.
Yes.
Wait, is that actually the voice of Mr. Krabs?
Yeah, you didn't know?
Clancy Brown. Mr. Krabs. And then also he was in...
He's in Shawshank too as well.
Shawshank.
That's where I knew him
Yeah.
from, but I did not realize he was Mr. Krabs.
Invincible, the Penguin.
Yep. Yeah, he's pretty good in The Penguin.
Whole bunch of stuff. The guy's been in a whole bunch
I'm
of
pretty
stuff.
sure he plays Falcone. Or, no, the other one in The Penguin. Anyway.
He was in Ahsoka.
Yes, he was. I thought he was fine in that. Yeah, he plays he also is in Rebels as the voice of that guy too.
As well as he's in Dexter New Blood.
And
yes, he is. Shout out Dexter, man.
And John Wick Chapter 4. He's the Harbinger.
That's the one I didn't watch.
Nope.
Yeah, I have some pretty interesting opinions about this movie.
The movie, the CGI is on point.
Yeah.
But sorry.
Seamless, really, honestly.
We're not going in a direction here. So, all right. The movie. Essentially, cowboy with the bracelet on gets to a town, beats up a guy a little bit, and then some things happen, and aliens attack out of nowhere.
From the sky.
From the sky, okay?
As you do.
They're like, quick, we got to track them. And they start tracking them, and then another one comes out of nowhere. Anyways, long story short, it's a bunch of cowboys on the backs of horses just shooting the shit out of aliens.
Yes. So the bracelet on his wrist ends up being an alien gun.
Yep.
I would also like to point out that the design of the alien ships is very much in that like 2010 to 2014, like Transformers: Dark of the Moon looked just like the aliens from Avengers that come out of the portal, like the Chitauri, the ships. They look identical. These look very similar to that. I don't know if they just did. Why? Why do they all look the same?
I think there was a real big push to have phallic-shaped objects in movies for a second there.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So I had a huge question. Why, when he got strapped down, would they give him a wrist gun? Well, why would that be in the straps? Unless I missed that.
They didn't give it. Yeah. So he takes. So what Lance is asking about is how Daniel Craig's character comes by the alien wrist gun.
The only gun that can actually do anything against these.
Yes, they very quickly figure out that their revolvers do nothing to these things.
I think they did kill one with a revolver.
Actually, not the ship. They don't kill the ships, but they kill.
They have to shoot the ever living shit out of them to take one down.
Yes. So when he's being dissected, essentially before he gets killed, he's about to be killed. The alien that's working on him he's wearing the wrist. He takes it off, lays it down. He takes the thing that he cut him with and then slices his face, and then Daniel Craig puts his wrist in the thing, and then that's essentially where he wakes up in the desert.
I missed that because when he must have put his wrist down, I thought he was pulling his wrist up off the.
No. It shows it open, and then he puts his wrist in it.
I got you.
It was for me personally. I thought it was nice to see the District 9 aliens get another acting job.
Those don't look anything like that.
They look pretty similar.
District 9 aliens.
They're bipedal.
They don't have the weird.
Weird that I've said that twice in this podcast, but it is appropriate.
Yeah, but they don't have anything coming out of their stomachs. They don't have.
They
don't have the same kind of communication.
The design of the aliens is interesting because their chest cavity opens up to little bitty arms that come out.
Yeah.
I don't know why that's a thing. In
why
movies,
would that?
But it's fun.
I don't understand how that would benefit the aliens.
So I think it's actually.
I got secret hands in my stomach.
I think it's actually a plot device because otherwise, how would you get a shot of a kid stabbing one?
Yeah.
They knew they had to get a shot of a kid stabbing one, and so the only way to do that is to have the chest open up.
They must have known pretty early on in the production design because, I think it looks like General Grievous.
It isn't a perfect movie. It's not a perfect movie by any means. Olivia Wilde's character has a whole bunch of flaws. I think they didn't do the best with her.
Yep.
They could have expanded a little more there. I would have wanted to know more about her people and why she is doing what she's doing.
Yes.
But
for me, Daniel Craig has less speaking lines than he has in Casino Royale. That really bothers me. That was where he was cast just for his face.
Yep.
And then the talking was, an extra.
I don't think he's got the best English or American accent. I think that's.
Was he even trying really that hard? I mean, I don't think so.
To be fair, probably not. But I don't think he's got the greatest American accent.
I did have another question about this movie.
Go ahead.
Right? So she dies early on, and then we learn she can come back, right?
Yep.
So why at the end, when she sacrifices herself, does she die forever?
That, to me, also was a little bit of a plot hole. Does the fire change her back? Or is she immune to the fire? And why did she play dead? Why not reveal herself earlier?
I think there's a certain amount of so spoiler alert for anybody that wants to actually watch the movie. But I think So in it, she says something along the lines of like, I didn't know if I could heal this vessel or this body.
Yeah.
I think that she can take a certain amount of damage and heal herself, but if she gets blown to a million pieces, I don't think that you can fix that.
Okay.
There's limits to her
healing abilities.
I really would have liked to seen the design for her original race. I was kind of thinking they were going to reveal that at some point, and then we never got it.
I wouldn't mind. Yeah, that's what I was saying, is that I wouldn't have minded like us to get a little bit more about her and her race of aliens. Yeah. At least a flashback or something of like her stuff getting invaded.
Yeah,
or something.
I needed some kind of lore. Like she was she felt again like this plot armor. Like
yeah.
It was a device for
she's
sure.
just there to help out the story.
She was there to help the story. She was there for a little bit of a reveal. Maybe, and honestly, just to like explain something. I think that's literally what she did.
Yeah.
But also, like, I feel like it's a trope in most alien movies where like the initial attack is just like the scouts, and then for some reason, if you're able to beat the scouts back, the mothership never shows up.
Yeah.
It's like, wouldn't they know that a whole bunch of our soldiers died on this planet and never returned? We could probably go find out what happened to them.
But I do think the point of that is, that place shouldn't be messed with. You know what I mean? Like, they took down.
Why
those
not like
aliens,
send
so
reinforcements? I'm kind of with Zach. I agree. It makes.
I understand. I mean, if we went to war with somebody and then our first group of people all died, you might just say,
"Hey, let's not go over there.
Let's not mess with those guys."
To be fair, that's why we don't go back to the dark side of the moon. You know?
Yeah. There was an insane amount of brooding in this movie. A lot of looking into the distance, frowning. Yeah. Also, Walton Goggins is in this. I don't think you mentioned him being in the cast. He kind of comes out of nowhere and then gets his tooth broken, which looks very painful. I would never like that to happen to me.
Who is it?
Walton Goggins? Goggles glasses?
And then, like, if you think about it, like, they're in old time West. That dude's just going to have that tooth look like that for his lifetime.
Oh, yeah. As soon as I saw him, I said, I'm going to take a walk in the moonlight because he's from Django Unchained.
Oh, he is? Yeah, he's in a lot of stuff. He's in White Lotus Season 3, which I'm watching right now. And
ironically,
plays a jerk.
He always plays an asshole, and also 90% of the time plays a cowboy.
Righteous Gemstones. He's really good in that.
Yep.
Sam Rockwell, we talked about him a little bit already. He's such a weenie in this movie. Mm-hmm. Dude is trying so hard to get his hot wife back and just can't do it. But he does. Spoiler, he does eventually.
But that's kind of
gets her back.
like...
I do really like his trope. It's like this character is bad at this thing and he's got to work on this one thing throughout the whole movie. For this one, for instance, he needs to learn how to shoot this gun. And it periodically shows him practicing shooting, and he's bad at it. And then right at the end, he saves Harrison Ford's character.
With the only time he's ever shot,
actually works.
The only shot he's ever hit. I think for Sam Rockwell, one of the writers that or his writer to get into a movie or whatever needs to be that he needs to be able to do the Charleston Shuffle at some point in every movie that he's in. Like his little walkout into Iron Man 2, he does a little that's like a little. It's called the Charleston Shuffle. It's
does
like a little foot dance thing.
Yeah.
He's fantastic at it. He needs to do it more often. Give the people what they want.
Yeah, we want the Charleston Shuffle.
We want the Charleston Shuffle.
Yeah, Walton Goggins shows up with like the craziest teeth. That dude is a horse. He looks like a horse, and then just immediately loses 3 of them.
But that's his teeth in real life.
No, I know, but poor guy just got.
Do we think he's got veneers? Because those bad boys, those are some big teeth.
I would assume at this point. Big movie trope that I just can't stand that we saw. It's when a character is trying to convince the other characters that he doesn't remember things, and they're just like, "Well, I don't believe you." That happens for like the first half of the movie with pretty much everyone that Daniel Craig meets, except for the chick who knows what's going on.
Yep.
Yeah, because like at one point, he's like, how'd you get that thing on your wrist? And he's like, I don't know. And then Harrison Ford's like, well, I don't believe you. That's dumb. You definitely should know. And he's like, nope, you got to believe me. I have no idea.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
It's kind of annoying. I think it's definitely a plot. I hate that we've said it so much. It's a plot device to avoid
actually
having
writing
a good
a
script.
reason.
Yeah. It just kind of takes me out of it. That's like what was the biggest gripe for me. It was like weird little tropes like that. I mean, it's definitely a fun movie. There are things that you need to ignore to have fun. yeah, no, I thought overall a really, really good movie. Interesting that the aliens just like gold. They are greedy like us.
Yeah. No, they're greedy. I don't know what they use the gold for. I think it powers the ships or something, right? They said that, but
something like that.
But that's what they're here for. They're here for the gold.
Enjoyable movie, but not.
Oh, I can't. Perfect. Speaking of things that take me out of it, for how advanced these stupid things are, their aim is atrocious. The plot armor on these characters is like Minecraft Diamond level. It's so annoying.
It is definitely a plot armor thing because in the first scene where what's his face, essentially, a character goes to like take a shit in a stream. Okay.
Yeah.
And then falls backwards because he gets blown back by a explosion.
Is that a normal thing people do? Shit like that?
I think back in the day, yeah. They figured out.
Dude drinking down the way.
They figured out that if you drink the water, you get sick. So they stopped putting dead bodies and shit into it eventually. But anyways, so guy starts taking shit in river and then falls backwards because of explosions and then comes back 13 seconds, maybe. What? Okay,
I would say less than that.
6 seconds later?
Yeah.
And everyone is eviscerated.
Yep.
Except for any time that Daniel Craig is around, they miss every shot. Every shot's gone.
But somehow also the Cowboys that come up on him did not see the giant explosion and were just...
Yeah. Oh, and guess what? He's got to explain to Harrison Ford's character what happened, and he doesn't know.
Nope. I don't know. I don't believe you. He's like, there's no lighting.
Also, that dude definitely died, by the way. They were stretching him limb from limb with 2 horses, and then Harrison Ford gets tired of talking to him. He doesn't believe him, whatever. He thinks he killed all his cows and did all that stuff because he's a ranch hand for Harrison Ford's character, which I love that we're only calling him Harrison Ford's character. I believe his name is like Longerdale or something.
Woodrow Dollarhide.
Dollarhide. Yeah. Yep. So then he just cuts the rope, and then he slaps the horse butt, and then he just runs off into the distance. That dude definitely died.
Small aside here, and I don't know if you guys agree with me or not, but like back in the olden days, they had torture devices that would pull people apart. Oh, okay. And also you could tie people to 2 different horses and make them walk across. Braveheart. Yes. I think that there is a very short period of time before death where that felt fantastic.
It cracks all the back.
It cracked your back. Dude, every vertebrae is...
Oh, yes.
Yes. And then you got split in half. But there was for a moment where that felt fantastic.
Poor guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
You were pure euphoria and then dead.
Another thing, I'm really just kind of picking specific things that I thought were funny. Anytime someone gets shot, they just rip their clothes or like get stabbed or something. The first aid kit back then, I guess, was just the shirt you're wearing because they just tear it up and then stuff your wound with it and then hope that you don't die. Which most do die.
To be fair, that they didn't really have a whole lot else back then, you know?
No, yeah.
Yeah, what do you want them to do?
I don't know. I just thought it was like I don't know. I don't have a solution. That's not my problem. Okay. I just think it's
Clancy.
Funny.
Ironically enough, Clancy. So when Daniel Craig's character gets to the town, he has
Jake Lonergan.
Yeah, a big old cut on his stomach, and it's from the aliens trying to like dissect him, right? And Clancy, he says, well, that looks weird. That's already been half cauterized. So they know what cauterization is, but they don't know that you shouldn't just stuff a shirt in it.
Yeah. I guess.
Spit on it, throw some water on it, stuff a shirt in there.
Rub some dirt in it, you'll be fine.
You'll be good. Don't even worry about it. But he knows what cauterization is. So
There was a scene at the end where Harrison Ford and Daniel Craig are running out of the cave. And it's exploding as they're running down the tunnels and stuff, and there's dust going everywhere. There is, for a split second, Daniel Craig gets smoked in the face with this dust. That definitely was shot out of an air cannon or something. Yep. He 100% was not supposed to get hit with that. Because he's like running and like blinking, and like that was not on purpose.
No, it happened to be the best take of the 6 they did, though.
I'm sure it was like one of those, like, well, he got hurt in this one. We got to use this one.
Looks more realistic, you know?
Because like the camera is in focus on Harrison Ford, but he's like running out, and then it shoots, and then just smokes him right in the face. I thought it was hilarious.
Admittedly, I can't even watch scary movies. So I know for a fact that if I get hit in the face with a bunch of fucking dust, I'm probably going to fall over. I
Yeah,
gotta be
some dude
honest.
was probably like, I am fired.
I am fired. Yeah, I heard Daniel Craig. I am fired.
Is the hummingbird supposed to be his dead girlfriend?
I got to be honest. I think the hummingbird was just he drank some tea or whatever he drank, right? I think
Yeah,
it's
he has a
hallucination.
It
ayahuasca
was just
trip, like about
symbolic.
halfway
Is that what it
through
is?
the movie. I think so.
He didn't see Little Green Men. Oh wait, no, he did. Just kidding. It's an alien movie.
We haven't really talked. Like, there's the one of the biggest elements of the movie is that he can't remember anything. We mentioned it kind of slightly. Like, he has amnesia. He doesn't know what's going on. And then they meet up with these Native Americans, and they're like, "Oh, we can fix that easy." Like, we also know what cauterization is, and we can heal your memory.
We can heal your memory. No big deal.
So he drinks this gross soup, and then he leans back in Olivia Wilde's lap, which good for him, I guess. And then this hummingbird comes out of the sky and leads him on this memory journey where
He remembers.
just like that.
He's good.
Figures out. He's like, oh, it's funny too because he wakes up and doesn't really say anything, and then he's like, I know what to do. Classic movie.
Classic movie. They do say at some point in the movie that they don't see well during the daylight. So that's
How do they know that? They didn't do anything that would indicate that.
no.
doesn't
Olivia Wilde's
yeah,
character
she
says
says it. So
they don't see well in the
You're
daylight.
right. You're right.
But I mean,
She just knows stuff.
she just knows stuff.
She's there to know stuff.
Again, that's her job. That was her.
She knows they like gold, which I guess Daniel Craig did kind of know that because they stole his gold
Yeah, that was the first thing that happened. The gold is gone. and then
chronologically.
So a big part of the movie is that they're abducting humans to figure out their weaknesses, and apparently a big weaknesses of them is to get stabbed in the stomach. Humans aren't good at getting
They do
stabbed in
that
the stomach.
repeatedly.
Yeah,
Yes.
just that's like their only
Seems like
move.
all the research you'd really have to do.
That's it. But anyways, whenever they abduct like 40 people very quickly.
Yeah.
And when they do, they like a ship flies by that's going very quick. It like spits out a rope, grabs them, and then the person's just like, ah! Just
I do think it's because so like they have the lights, right? I mean,
Yeah.
like 50s, 60s movies like get sucked up by the flying saucer. It's through like this. You get a tractor beam and you get sucked up through the you know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
I just thought that was a good. They're like, how do we do this without making it look weird? Actually, let's just use ropes,
to me, it looks
sticky ropes.
like a tongue, though. You know, because it's not like.
I feel like a metal. Like
it's a hand. It's like a metal hand.
Well,
like,
yeah. I know it's not like.
it's like the claw machine.
But that's what it
meets a
reminded
whip.
me of. Is like.
Well, I think what they were going
giant
for
tongue
is
that
is like Cowboys Lasso shit.
Oh yeah.
I think they were trying to make like a small connection.
I'm also sure that was way easier to get in their budget. I'm sure they just wired people up and just flung them around, and then they didn't have to get rid of the lines.
Well, and again, the CGI is aggressively good.
It's seamless.
Yeah.
I mean,
Honestly.
2011. That's around the time of Transformers, the original one, right? And that's like pinnacle of CGI technology, I think, and it holds up. It does a great job.
Yeah, no, honestly.
I thought it did great.
Yeah, no. Overall, great movie. I really enjoyed it. I'm not gonna say great in the sense of like critically speaking. I'm gonna say great as in I had a great time.
It's a fun movie. You pull it out on a dreary Sunday afternoon.
If it's on Spike, I'll probably watch it.
Hell yeah, give it a shot.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Give it a shot.
All right. I think we're ready for 20 questions. So I have a good movie here for you guys today. It will be a tough pull. I mean, we're 1-1 on the series. It's a tough pull. Do not look at my screen because I have it up.
Okay.
So, yeah, let's ride.
Zach, let it rip. I think we always have to start with live action versus animation.
Yeah,
Am I wrong? Or at least in the last 10 years or something like that.
I think if we start with like a time period, that's difficult. If we start trying to go as broad as we can first, so like, I agree that animation is probably the way to go first.
Okay.
So do you want to say, is it animated?
Nope.
And it's not animated.
Not animated.
And I assume that by not animated, it also means that it's not live action or it's not like aggressive CGI. Like the Lion King remake or re-release was like live action.
Is
if
that
you will.
a second question or are you
No,
asking
it's a
for
clarification. On the first
Clarification.
one.
I would consider that live action.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
All right. Last 5 years.
No.
Okay.
I think we go last 10.
Wait.
What?
Again, he doesn't know his own movie.
I
But that's
do
fair
know.
because
a
we don't
running
either.
thing.
Let's go.
This is. I'm gonna say. Yes.
I bet it's a
believe
remake.
It is. I believe it is in the last 5 years.
Believe or you know?
It is.
Okay.
Last 5 years.
Is it a remake?
No.
Original, okay.
All right. Okay.
Is it
Male lead.
Yes.
Okay.
is it a child male lead?
No.
No.
I think
Adult?
I think we go.
You're at 5 questions.
Is it a person?
I think he's asking, is it about animals or is it about humans?
Yeah.
Humans.
Okay.
6.
All right.
So it's not aliens.
Not aliens. We could have asked, are there aliens in it? And gotten the same answer.
Is it sci-fi?
No.
Okay, so Lance is a big rom-com guy.
Oh my god. Well, I mean, from 50 First Dates, I kind of have to assume.
I am a huge rom-com guy.
Is it a romantic comedy?
No.
Shit.
It's 8.
I just imagine him.
I will tell you, if you just guess what this is, you will never get it.
Like if we're just like pulling.
If you're guessing like, oh, it's a rom-com, it's an action movie, you're not going to guess what this is.
Okay.
So I would steer away from that.
I'm just picturing Lance all cuddled up on a rainy night in a little blanket watching a rom-com by himself, drinking hot chocolate or something.
I watch it with my wife.
Him, his wife, and his
Yes.
three-legged dog.
Him, his wife, three-legged dog.
My dog has 4 legs.
Is hot cocoa involved?
I do love hot chocolate.
She's probably a... Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Dang. Let's see here. So it's not sci-fi. It's in the last 5 years. Male lead. Not anemone. I sound like Chad. Animated.
Animated?
Anemone.
He would consider it live action.
He would consider it live action.
No, it is live action. You guys asked me about Lion King. I said I would consider Lion King live action.
Okay.
Okay.
That was the clarification. This is live action.
Is live action 5 years. I think we go genre now. But he just said not to go genre.
I don't think you'll ever get it from the genre. There are other...
I mean, it helps us whittle it down, no?
Okay.
Okay, fine.
I mean, feel
Okay,
free.
so but we said it wasn't a romantic comedy.
It's not a romantic comedy.
That one just flickers.
That's what it
apparently.
did, yeah.
Okay. That one must be like super dead.
Must be.
Yeah.
It's also curved. Uh-oh.
Well, if you keep looking at it, it's going to have...
It's all right. Keep going.
Okay.
The show must go on.
Okay. Not romantic comedy. It's... That fucking light. That fucking light did it again.
We almost made it.
Yeah, it's super dead. Okay, not romantic comedy. He would consider it to be live action. It's got a male adult lead. It's in the last 5 years.
I think we pause a second, just fix the light.
Yeah.
I don't know how to fix it, though.
Just pull it out.
Unplug it, or
Yeah,
should I just like
unplug it.
swap them?
I would just unplug it.
What's it plugged into right now?
A little wall. Do you think I just like swap one of the...
I would just leave it out, honestly.
Okay.
It won't look great, but it's fine.
Right.
If it we'll charge him up and then I'll turn that one on and see if it has like a problem going forward.
And we're back
And we're
after technical difficulties. They're at 9 questions right now, so
Okay.
we'll see what they can figure out.
Man, this is so freaking hard.
It is really difficult. I don't feel like I'm good at this at all.
No,
This is not my strong
I can't
suit.
believe I pulled Valerian out of my butt.
I was
2 weeks ago.
I was really impressed with that.
That was only like 12 questions in, too.
I know.
It makes me want to watch the movie.
It's a great movie.
It's on your top 10. Or no, it's on your
Guilty pleasures.
guilty pleasure movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Let's not go in the top 10s. We'll just get into an argument about the Joker.
Okay, man.
Does the movie take place? Is it a period piece?
No.
No. Okay.
If the period is current day, then yes.
Is it part of like a universe?
Yes.
Mm.
That's 11.
Okay, universe, last 5 years. God, I'm trying to think of some universes because, like, it's not sci-fi, so it's not comic booky.
No.
It's not. It's male lead. So, do you mean a universe as in multiples of the film, or universe as in there are multiple films that are all connected?
This is connected to something else, to another form of media. Yes.
Form of media.
Is there a video game adaptation?
No, not that.
Well,
not that's canon.
This is not a question about it. Do you consider science fiction to be like Marvel and
Absolutely.
like? Oh, okay.
Yep,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay.
Do you want to go with like the production company? I mean, is it?
Oh, like a Warner Bros. Versus.
Yeah. Is it?
I don't know if that's going to help me without Googling.
Right. The last 5 years.
You guys have 8 left.
Yeah, I know. Man, male lead, sci-fi, not sci-fi.
Not a period piece. I'm assuming it takes place on Earth. I mean,
I think that now that we have additional information, I think we ask genre again. Because at least for us, we'll whittle it down. Do we ask? I kind of want to ask, is it a comedy?
go for it.
Is it a comedy?
No.
Son of a bitch.
That didn't help at all.
We suck.
Whenever we play this, I always think of that episode of Family Guy where Stewie's like, "Is there a protagonist? Does he find his way along? just writing a little book."
It's exactly what we're doing.
A little beginning, middle, and end.
Okay, gosh. I want to be like, oh, okay. Are there major elements and themes of time? I've had a lot of that stuff recently.
Would you consider like flashbacks and things like that as time related?
Nah.
Not really.
Then no.
There's not time travel in it. I think that's what I would consider like elements of time.
I was thinking like the things that happen in the future affect the past.
I would consider that sci-fi.
In the last 5 years.
14.
So there's got to be flashbacks then. He said, okay, he was also very particular when he said how it connected. He said forms of media. So it's got to be either a television show or like books. That's 5 years. I don't even know if I know. Like, I got to look up.
I think we can ask if there is a book.
Is this an adapted screenplay? Like from books?
No.
Well, then what kind of media would it be if it wasn't a book?
It's got to be TV shows.
5 left.
Is it a movie? So it is a movie, obviously, right?
Yep.
This isn't like, okay.
Yeah.
Is there a TV show based off, or did this come from a TV show?
Yes.
Okay. So it's a TV show turned to a movie. Okay. I think
they're involved with each other. Yes.
But what you're suggesting is, and this isn't a question, but the TV show came first and then the movie came second?
Yes.
Okay.
How many questions do we have left?
4.
Okay. Last 5 years. Television show. Sci-fi. So you're considering like all superheroes sci-fi?
Yes, and it's not sci-fi.
Right. Okay. I know.
Okay.
I know.
I don't think this is going to be it, but I want it to be Entourage so bad.
He's not seen Entourage. It's the
because okay, I'm thinking of TV shows that got a movie as like an ending.
I led you astray.
Oh shit!
It is slightly over 5 years, just slightly. I don't think it would change anything
garbage
for you, but slightly over 5
We get one
years.
more question.
All right, 5 questions left.
There we go. See, gotta argue for yourself.
It's fine. All right.
I should've said
I don't
2.
think you're gonna get it in 5. So
Was it? Okay, not asking you. I think we ask if it was critically acclaimed or well received critically.
is that?
Oh, no, I'm thinking. I'm sorry.
If you would like me to answer that, I am capable of answering it.
I don't think asking it. Okay. I feel like Valerian was a pretty obscure movie choice. And I also feel like
I just knew that he loved that movie.
I also feel like this would be an obscure movie choice.
It's got to be something that he likes. But not necessarily because he chose freaking Tarzan 2, the animated movie, last week. Man, the thing that's really pushing me over is like the interconnected aspect. Like it's part of its own universe. I think for going forward, rules-wise, if we get to the last 5 questions, we are able to Google.
If you feel like that's something you
Shut
need,
up, idiot.
I think, I mean, this is definitely a movie you guys both know. I didn't try to screw you on this one.
You said male lead.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why, but Charlie's Angels just popped in my head. But all right.
The TV show, it's like anytime I think of something, I think of the TV show, and it doesn't have a TV show. Because like I was thinking Mad Max for a little bit, Fury Road or Furiosa, but that's over 5. Television show first.
I don't know if that would be considered to have like a male lead. Do they have accents? Specifically, do they have a British accent?
No British. No. I would say no foreign accents of any kind. Four more questions, and the 4th one has to be your guess. So.
Is it... Okay, this is sidebar for Jacob.
Yep.
Is it potentially El Camino? It's like a Breaking Bad TV show. It's got a male lead. There's no...
Is it just over 5 years, though?
It's 2019.
Are
there heavy themes of drug use in this?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
3 more questions.
That's, wow, okay. Because that is it. I wouldn't even consider that because it being like a one-off thing. And he's watching Breaking Bad right now. Aren't you? No, Jesse is.
No,
Never mind.
The only thing I can think of other than that would be like there was an X-Files movie in 23, but I don't...
It's well within 5 years.
I don't know. Yeah, that's well within 5 years.
And last week we determined guesses don't kill the game. And we have 3 left?
I thought they still killed the game.
No, that's dumb.
I think it's El Camino.
It's 2 against 1. It doesn't kill the game. Go ahead and guess.
El Camino.
It is El Camino.
Wow, what a pull, dude!
Nailed it. And I don't even like Breaking Bad.
Yes, that was the pick. So, yeah, absolutely.
Good guess.
Hey,
2 wins for you guys.
He also made a huge face when you said it.
I tried not to.
Yeah, you tried, but you failed.
You failed. Yeah. As soon as I thought of it, I was like,
don't put that puppy away. We got to decide on a movie we got to watch.
I'm gonna have to bring up the drug use. And anyways, yeah, that was a dead giveaway.
The drug use, definitely.
Yep. Absolutely.
Excellent work.
Sick.
Nice job.
Okay, so we're going to be changing up the way we're doing the 3 movies here at the end. I think that what we all would like, because we're all busy, and also I think what makes more sense for our audience, is if we decide on one movie.
Yes.
for us all three to watch, and then we can go into a little bit deeper discussion.
And I think we want to have some kind of relevance to like what's maybe coming out or something in the news.
It's not a rule we're going to necessarily stick too hard,
Right,
but
I mean, think it's a good path to follow.
Agreed.
Yeah. I'm open to suggestions.
I mean, we kind of talked about it off screen, but I would really like to watch The Irishman. And we have, what was coming out that we were talking about?
Robert De Niro movie.
Right, yeah. There's a new Robert De Niro movie.
Did we talk
coming out
about
soon.
so I'm good with either The Irishman and did someone say The Accountant, the first one?
I did, because of that one coming out in a
No,
couple
we could
weeks.
watch
But
that
we could be
next
next
week,
week.
yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't watched either of these movies, so I'm happy to do either one of them. Don't care.
I have seen The Irishman.
Have you seen The Accountant?
Yes.
Okay.
It is so long.
Is it it's a 3-hour one,
I
right?
think it's over 3.
Okay.
Netflix though. So yeah, I'm for it. Let's go Irishman.
Okay. All right. Well, next week we're watching, or this week we're watching Irishman. We're going to talk to you guys about it on Monday.
Yes. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Make sure to check out our articles on tripletakepodcast.com. Lance just put out a couple. Zach just put out one.
Yep. Subscribe.
Yes,
all
all
the
that
things.
stuff.
Mickey 17 review.
Yes,
coming out,
Mickey
so if you're
17
interested
review.
in that,
Check us out on all the socials as well. We just got all those up. We're going to start posting the articles there, as well as movie news, TV news, entertainment news, things of relevance to the things that we discuss here. So, cool beans. Thanks, everybody. Adios.